what should a society do if they don't even have conveyance of the land?
Mayank, I need to add one aspect on meaning of conveyance first,
Right,
because there is a lot of confusion that we observe
right,
when society gets to hear this word conveyance, and they have some misunderstanding or misconception. In simplicity means conveyance means ownership of your land on which the building is standing, including its parking and amenities and everything.
right.
Okay. Now, suppose you don't have ownership of land. In what capacity you can determine the future of that land? How do you decide who will develop, who will be the developer, who will be PMC? So I have said this many times. If you don't have conveyance, that is the ownership of the land, any discussion on redevelopment is just waste of time.
Waste of time.
You're doing futile exercise, you're spending money unnecessarily on your project management consultant and your lawyers or any architect or chartered accountants that you will hire. I strongly recommend members who are in this scenario is to start taking steps to get that ownership. And
Right.
you are rightfully entitled under Cooperative Societies Act with amendments under Deemed Conveyance provisions. You are very much clearly eligible and entitled if you are having a cooperative housing society registered on that piece of land, and if you are owning that building, the land also rightfully should belong to you. For that, simple steps: either you call upon the developer who had developed the land, who happens to be owner, to convey it to you. If there is a different landowner, you call upon that landowner to convey the land to you. If these two parties are not responding, then you take them to the Deputy Registrar's office under Cooperative Societies Act for under deemed conveyance application. Procedure is self-explanatory, very much easy to understand, and completed within 6 months to 12 months time frame. Plus, we have seen recent notification also that deemed conveyance application should not be stretched beyond reasonable time frame. Otherwise, for the delay, the deputy registrar will have to explain what caused the delay for his decision-making process. So, conveyance is a at most needed first thing on the list for society even start thinking,
How do you
talking
redevelop something you don't
about
own?
redevelopment.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You summed it up pretty well.
So now tell me, have you seen scenarios where the society doesn't have the deemed conveyance and the building is fallen down? What happens then?
Societies have to take steps, and at a times they will have to do it on urgent basis. Otherwise, the scenario that you narrated, in that scenario, members who were staying before that, scenario, and let's talk extreme scenario. What if it actually
Collapses.
collapses?
Yeah,
Their ownership has gone.
gone.
The landowner remains landowner. Now you don't have protection of Cooperative Societies Act to talk about your past apartment which was standing. And unfortunately, in Mumbai kind of cities, we have seen some sad, very unfortunate, tragic examples also of this nature. In Borivali, I believe some building got collapsed, and members are nowhere to go now. They don't have any scope for asking for ownership of their land, because the time that they had when the building was standing and their cooperative society was registered and existing, that was a time to seek conveyance. But if the structure is no longer being occupied by your cooperative society, then you cannot seek anything for the past structure.
Absolutely.
So they'll be in a very unfortunate scenario, and not any claim that they can put on that land for any kind of development or redevelopment to talk about.
Right.
See, redevelopment means something to reconstruct.
Correct.
Ultimately, there
Correct.
is nothing left on the structure.
So
So what do
what
you call
do you
redevelop then?
Yeah. That's a very sad state of affairs that society should, I think, irrespectively do it.
And it's a
Why-
cost-wise
why wait?
cost-wise it's very normal. Procedure-wise very self-explanatory. I would say it will be mostly in the society's favor if the society has registered itself, have proper documents, all the members' records are maintained properly, all the necessary dues are cleared properly, and the adjudication order that comes for society to pay off certain fees to complete the deemed conveyance. I think it's the basic thing that society must gather and do it on the priority. If anyone who is watching this video and any society members who is contemplating should we go for deemed conveyance or not, I will strongly recommend drop everything that you're doing, stop
just
everything
do
that
this
you're
first.
thinking, do this first and foremost thing. go and register for that application in the process, because that's the most critical thing you will always be reminded about in case you are talking to anyone of redevelopment, or if your building is in dilapidated condition.
Right. Now, a lot of buildings in Mumbai are built on leasehold land, right? Especially South Mumbai is full leasehold land. When it comes to redevelopment of those structures, right, is there additional red tape and excessive bureaucratic delays in that? How would you go about that?
Now, leasehold lands come with a different arrangement than the ownership. Lease means you are given a temporary possession, but
Right.
possession is an important word. You are in valid possession. That lease period, that temporary period could be few years, or it could be 99 years, it could be 200-300 years. There are so many properties on Marine Drive, so many properties
Absolutely.
between South Bombay to Sion area we can see, or Mahim area we can see, they are on leasehold arrangement. So your lease rights, what it said when the lease deed was executed, whether this lease agreement and rights are also coupled with the development of that plot for future scenario, is that development happening with or without consent of the landowner, which most of times is government, state of Maharashtra, then you have to also pay the necessary premium for such development. Or if you want to move it from the leasehold land to ownership land, then you will also have to go about applying for the necessary change in ownerships, change in the
To class
classification
one.
of land to class 1 to go about. So awareness, knowledge, readiness, contribution timely for all those things are much needed to deal with these problems. Otherwise, any society which is dealing with leasehold land pertaining proposed redevelopment project, they need to have a good consultant who will make them understand what they are entering into. I have seen situations, Mayank, where societies are not aware about the legalities and technical procedure that are attached,
Right.
which you also put in your question, the bureaucratic procedures and hurdles and the demands and the delays and the many over the table or under the table scenarios that they have to be ready to deal with, and they submit all of this as a problem to some developer. Sometimes these developers will give promises and hopes that don't worry, this is the usual process, we are dealing with on these things day in day out. But the same developers at a times will keep that problem on hold till the time his other things,
Things are
other
sorted out.
equations are not falling into place.
Correct.
Now, you are saying you are into a problem. You're giving that problem to someone who is going to become a problem solver for you for a larger project
Right.
or larger situation. Sometimes you are making a wrong decision. You're taking a wrong step here. You have to solve your own problems. Converting into C1 or taking deemed conveyance order is your responsibility, not
Right.
some developer's responsibility who was only supposed to come and redevelop the project.
Right.
And if you give all of this to some developer, good ones will solve it, but those who are having different intentions, they may misuse that as a problem in their favor,
To delay.
and they'll block the project, they'll keep it stuck, and they'll always give you this explanation.
Correct.
आपने तो convince नहीं दिया था,
And
आपने
delaying
तो
is so
ownership नहीं था.
profitable for him
Every
eventually.
day, every
Yeah.
quarter, every new financial year or every new change in policy can add few things for them,
Yes.
and they can
Especially
benefit.
delay before execution starts is profitable for him.
Yes.
Right.
And those same developers may sell this project in some different way.
Right.
They may start discussing this in their circle to find someone else to come and buy it at a different price.
Right.
Society will not get to know also about all these things.
Lovely. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, and I had a great time.
Thank you, Mayank, for this great opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.